Well, guys, looks like I'm back. What do you think about an Indian Scout being added to the mix? Pretty cool as shit. I think these things are cool. Not as cool as the fucking Panigale though. No, thank you. Alright guys, so I got fuel. I got my Panigale back. I want to talk to you guys about my first ride. How about that? Let's talk about the first ride. Let's do a Panigale 959 first ride. Well, yeah, guys, so I'm back. Paramoto is back until the next time something breaks on something. But right now, I am good to go. I have heard some people saying that my audio setup has been wavering, so I might need another one of these little dongle bullshitty things. That breaks all the time, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Today, I want to talk to you guys about my first ride of my Ducati Panigale 959. We just came from the dealership where I purchased it from Garcia Moto in North Raleigh. Fantastic dealership, fantastic service department, fantastic salesman. If you are in the Raleigh area and you're looking for a Panigale, go to if you're looking for a Ducati or BMW or KTM or Modus or what else do they have, Bimoda, all sorts of shit, Indian. If you're looking for any of that shit, Garcia Moto is your place, guys. Well, let's give this thing a little bit of gas. I guess not. Well, anywho, I'm gonna try to go this way and we're gonna see what happens. Oh, I missed that so much. So anyway, guys, I want to talk to you guys about my first ride on my 2018 Ducati 959 Panigalsters. I haven't had any really, I didn't have my motovlog set up at the time that I got this bike, but I got it pretty soon after I got everything figured out and everything. So I'm pretty sure I got my motovlogging set up in March for my birthday, and then my Panigale I got in December or so. So I haven't really had the opportunity to share 100% of my voyage with this fucking bike. But I gotta tell you about my first time with Ducati. So back in 2016, I believe it was 2016, I went up to Garcia Moto and I asked for a test ride on the then middleweight Panigale, which was the Ducati Panigale 899. The 899 was modeled significantly after the 1199 Panigale, which is a beast unto itself. Just like the 959 is modeled after the 1299, and they share a ton of design characteristics and everything with each other. This is what this one did as well. So I rode the 899, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I was not impressed. I wasn't impressed with the 899. I kind of thought the 899 was a little bit of an afterthought. It didn't really seem like they really gave a shit about what they did with it. So honestly, I didn't buy it at the time. I mean, I had the opportunity to buy one for cheap. I think it was gonna be like 10 grand for a demo model 899. The thing was beat to shit. It was like a rental car. Like, even a bike that's used as like a fucking demo bike should have been in better shape than that one. But I just didn't think that the 899 was in that great of a shape. You know, honestly, the 899 was like, it was pretty beat up. It was scratched everywhere. If you guys know anything about the way that they saved some money on the 899, was that they didn't put a clear coat on the paint, so it was just paint, and that was it. It was a shiny paint that they put on it, and other than that, the shit was just it was just fucking, it was scratched like crazy. And I think it was actually Baron von Grumble that did something on it where his leather jacket was rubbing it and it was scratching it. Just the leather on the paint was scratching. Alright guys, I had to stop talking for a minute because of this fucking freeway. You'll never hear me on the fucking freeway. So, anyway, so I passed on the fucking 899, even though I had a good opportunity on it, just because I didn't think it was a quality product. And then I went and I spent a couple years just riding my CBR 600 around, having fun, you know. And then I decided to research more bikes. You know, Ducati's always been something that I loved. I've always loved Ducati since I've heard the word. And I decided that Ducatis were for me, and I started researching different bikes to get. I was bored to death of my 600, so I went to Garcia Moto and I asked them, like, hey, straight up, you know, what do you guys have? You know, will you let me test ride a 959? And honestly, their head management wasn't into it at the time because I think they only had one. And the person that I actually bought the bike from ended up convincing him, like, hey, you know, this guy's pretty serious. We should probably let him test ride this, or, you know, he'll probably end up buying it. So he convinced him to let me test ride this thing, and I took it out. And then I took it for probably about a 5 to 10 mile loop. I had to pull over a couple times just to look at the bike and take some pictures. I rode a red 959. Decided I liked the white one better. That, and with what they said about the 899 being the single stage paint and everything like that, I decided I wanted a 959 in white instead of red, just because it has a little bit more paint to it. It's got the clear coat. It's a little bit tougher paint job. It was a more expensive option, of course. I think it was like $500 more, but $500 spread over the series of a few years isn't really much to get what you want. So I decided to give it a go, and I got this bike, and I took it around the 10-mile loop, and everybody was looking at me. Literally, there wasn't anybody that wasn't looking at me, staring at me, just staring me down on this bike, dude. It was wild. So while I was riding this, I stopped at a stoplight for 1 second, and I was just appreciating and I'm making the Italian look. I was appreciating the V-twin, you know, and I was just sitting there at the stop sign just like that. And there was a fucking group of kids next to me. There was 2 people in a sedan, and their mouths were open. Like, their mouths were literally open like a cartoon, and they were shaking their heads at me. And there's something about this V-twin that just gets just about anybody. Like, if you're into cars, if you're into bikes, if you're into just about anything, you're gonna be into this V-twin, you know. And that sealed the deal for me. It sealed it. I was just like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it, you know. And I came back to the dealership, and I ended up fucking. I told my salesman, like, hey, dude, I want this bike. I want this bike, you know. And he straight up just he put the sold sign on the white Panigale, on this white Panigale for me, and the deal was done. I just had to come back the next day, and I signed some paperwork, and just, you know, they got everything settled for me and everything. And then I think I came back in the day after that, and I picked it up. And the reason why it took so many days is because I came in at the end of the day, and they didn't really have anything ready because they were shutting down and stuff. So that's what ended up happening with this bike. That's the story of my first ride. And I'll be honest with you, when I got on this bike for the first time, it was just, I knew it was for me. I knew it was for me. There was just nothing about it I didn't love. So it was just, you know, I knew I was going to get it. So, God, I always miss that turn. I always miss that turn. Oh well, I guess we're exploring. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and comments on the first ride and what your first ride was and what sold you on a motorcycle. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's had funny shit happen. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've gone into a motorcycle shop when I first got my CBR, and I went into the motorcycle shop literally to buy some chain wax, and I walked out with a CBR 600. Well, not walked out. Well, I guess I did walk out that day, and I came back the next day and I got a CBR 600. You know, it was just, I had to do it. I had to get it. There was just no compromising. I'm just a sucker. Like, usually when I set my mind to something like that, like, I'm gonna go do it. So yeah, it's a fucking beautiful day to go ride. I'm glad I got my bike back for at least a little bit this weekend. I'll probably ride during the week a little bit. Like, the thing is about my work schedule is that I work a ton, just a ton of days, and then I'm off for a long time, you know, which means that this bike, I had to take it in the shop at like the worst possible time. I really did, because this bike, like, I don't know, like, I knew I wasn't gonna get it back for a long time, so I guess it is what it is. I mean, I got it back for at least 2 days, so, and it didn't cost me anything, and they let me, you know, basically store it there until they were ready to work on it, which was awesome. So I would have just had a bike that was just leaking fucking front brake fluid everywhere, you know, if they wouldn't have let me do that. So I'm pretty stoked about it, you know. I hope it's a long time before I have to take it through anything else. It is getting close to its 7,500 mile service. I mean, I'm almost about halfway, so it won't be too long until it's back in the shop again, now that I have it and the weather's fucking beautiful. So I'm going to be riding the crap out of it. And you know what, you guys are probably going to see this video in just a couple of days. If you guys haven't been following my videos, I don't bank any videos, and the reason why is I don't think it's honest. I don't think it's honest when you're a motovlogger posting videos of like different seasons, to be honest with you. Like, when it's literally like fall in your video and you're posting it in April, like, I just don't think that's right, and I'm never gonna do that. So I'm just like straight up never gonna do that. So yeah, I have the bike back now. I think everything's working so far, so hopefully everything will be good to go for a while, and there won't be any more slowdowns or video stoppages. And this fucking battery in this camera has been like a trooper. It's been 40% for like ever. So you guys are gonna see this video, please make sure to like and comment and subscribe. I make sure I get back to every single person. Every person that sends me a message, I make sure I get back to. So, you know, throw me a comment if you want to know something. You know, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in the 959, but I know a lot. I own it, and I'm happy to share anything with you guys. I'm really happy to do anything for you guys as regards to sharing information and stuff, because honestly, I know you guys have, you know, I know you guys have questions, you know, like so did I. And you know, this isn't like an R6 where there's like a 10,000 videos. First of all, the 959 hasn't been out for forever, and this person can't even stay on their side of the road. The 959 has not been out for forever, so there's going to be questions about it. People don't know everything about it, and you know, like when I was ready to buy one, I know I couldn't find a lot of information. So, you know, having Jarrett Campese and Snooge J and everything around to answer questions actually was pretty awesome. So I'm here for you guys. If you need anything at all, shoot me a comment. Make sure to like the video. It helps me out, get my videos to other people. Make sure to subscribe. We have more watch minutes in the last 28 days than I could have ever dreamed of having. But our subscriber count's still low. As of today, we went from 45 to 47, but our watch time, it was like almost 8,000 minutes in the last 28 days. That's not bad, considering that we've only been doing this together for a few months. So let's keep growing this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like. I'll see you guys next week. Deuces.